is up? It's me, Darren, and I am back here live again. Excuse me while I get my phone adjusted. I came on a little later, and I didn't want to make you wait any longer. So, what is up, guys? This is, what is today? It's Wednesday, and today I thought I would tell you what I did. By the way, if you're new, my name is Darren, or Dream Disturber on all social media. I live in Louisiana and have a Louisiana-based YouTube channel. I go to different churches. I go to historic homes and festivals and such, and I show you a lot of things that go on around here that I and other people love to do. But I've been out of work since August, I think, a couple of months. For the most part, I did work at the 13th Gate Haunted House, but a real job. So I've been talking to Magnolia Mound. It's another plantation, which I'm more than likely going to go to. It's in the works. But this week, somebody called me, and the establishment that called me for an interview is a funeral home. It's in Baton Rouge, and it's on Florida Boulevard or Florida Drive. And I at one point was owed Indeed, and I was putting out all sorts of applications or sending in my resume to a bunch of people. Some of them were things that I didn't feel like I had much experience in, but some I did. So this is a sales position over there, and I theoretically would be selling funeral plots and services to potential clients. And that seems to me to be a field that is always going to be active, because people will die and will need funeral plots. And it was a really nice interview. The guy there was very personable. I wasn't even sure if it was something I would consider. I was just going to stay in practice for interviews. This guy was very charming, tall, thin, carried himself well. Everybody there looked put together. The place itself was peaceful. And he's going to let me know. And if that happens, if they do choose to hire me, I will have a big decision to make because of Magnolia Mound. I'm theoretically heading Magnolia Mound way. And that is a plantation in Baton Rouge, 9 minutes from my house. And that's kind of what I've done at my other jobs, or at least for the last couple of years. That's only a part-time gig for now, of course. Oh, it could build up to anything, but I don't know if this funeral funeral parlor is interested in me after this interview. I may end up going there because I liked what this guy had to say. I liked that interview. It was very pleasant. So I don't know who else here tonight. If you want to say hello, please do. It is around 8:36, and I told you guys I was going to come on at 8:30, so we're a little late. But that was my day, and I just wanted to share it with you. The guy was very friendly. He was personable. He was tall, thin. He dressed nice. The dress code over there would be business casual, which is nice. I wasn't even sure how to dress. Back in my day, of course, it was always business, shirt, tie at least. Maybe not a coat, but I wore a little polo with nice pants. I looked very conservative in there. Probably more conservative than some of you have seen me at times on the channel. So we are going to keep our fingers crossed. And hope that works. The thing about Magnolia Mound is it's a done deal. I went to the OWN board. I went to meet them at the plantation for that interview. They called me. You accept the job? Sure. So I had to go to the main Breck office and that is Baton Rouge something or other. This place is owned by the state or the parish, so theoretically, great job to have that sort of job, but the onboarding process was supposed to be on the 11th, where I would go to the next stage, but my background check results had not come through yet. It was a week before that I sent them in, and they were still waiting. So that was the 11th, so I was disappointed because I was ready to start doing something. I'm the kind of person who loves to have something to do. I think theoretically I would love to not and be a free agent, but I am much more happier and content if there is something that people expect me to do at a certain time. So I was excited about that. The next onboarding process now would be on the 23rd, which is a Monday. So I was disappointed. And the next day after that is when this other job called me. And that was kind of exciting to me. When I went to this interview, like I said, I wasn't even planning on liking it or wanting to be there. I just went because I had the option, and it would be a sin not to go there. And there we are. So welcome, new person. I hope you are here to chat with us. I was just telling them about my interview today at a funeral home. Oh, it's a sales position, by the way. I would be selling plots over there. And that's nice. And we're going to keep our fingers crossed and hope it works out. My beard looks funny today. I don't know why. I hate this light. This light is too bright. It washes me out in a way. But that's what I did. So how are you guys this day? Anything you want to share with our group chat? I always like hearing you guys' stories. What do you think? Should I go to work at a funeral home and sell funeral plots and funeral services if they want me there? Oh, and another bad thing is this is just, what's going on, Wild Bill? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see ya. Another bad thing is it would be commission-based. I don't like working on commission. I never have. I have some sales experience, by the way. So that's not an issue. And, of course, it would be a job where you always have new customers because everybody needs to have a place to be buried. Yesterday was a lot of fun. We used ChatGPT to help me find the perfect dog. It gave me some great ideas and good things to think about. If you want to hear about that, that other video is out there. And it gave me a lot of great things to think about. What would ChatGPT think of a dog? What dog should I get? It was a lot of fun. Today, I just went on that job interview. And that was around 1 o'clock. Met with that guy. They had snacks on the little table there. Mints, chips. Hey, Tiffany, what's going on? I'm just hanging out, talking to people. Went on a job interview today for a job in a funeral home in sales, which is a different reality for me. But they called and wanted me to go. And I didn't think I'd be interested in that job, but I really did like this guy and I like the place. What have you been up to, Tiffany? Any news? Any excitement? You should have been on yesterday. It was a lot of fun. We used ChatGPT to find out what kind of dog I should get. And we even used it to find out what sort of dog would be perfect for the zombie baby. And they gave us a lot of great things to think about. Yeah, it was more interesting than I thought. I mean, the guy was so nice. We got along well. He liked my personality. I liked his. He was happy with the way I answered questions. Wild Bill says his family has an above ground plot in New Orleans at the Metairie Cemetery. I kind of thought your family would have a plot, to tell you the truth. So that's good to know. Hopefully they have a place for you. Yeah, it was kind of fun. So yeah, I mean, when I talked to the guy on the phone, I said, because he called me, he said, "Well, yeah, I'm looking at resumes, and your resume really stood out to me. If you're interested and you want to come out to an interview," and I said, "Well, what is it about my resume that stood out to you?" Because a lot of people on Indeed never call me back, and he said, your tour guide skills is obviously, you know how to talk to people, interact with them. And we do have to give tours of the cemetery. So I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. Wow, wow, Bill, there's one spot left and then it'll be sealed forever. That's crazy. He said he'll let me know by Thursday. The thing is, I'm already got the job at Magnolia Mound Plantation as a tour guide, but they're waiting on my background check to go through, so I have to go on the onboarding process. But this job says, you could make $60,000 a year just by doing the bare minimum, and they have benefits and health insurance and all sorts of things. So, you can't pass up a job like that. So if they do want me there, I would have a big decision to make. Do I go with the plantation? Or do I go on a whole different path? Oh, I'd love to work in a cemetery. Sales sounds good, Tiffany says. I wish you the... Oh, thank you so much, Tiffany. Yeah, it would be a whole different thing. It'd be more money. I mean, I think I should probably go with benefits and health insurance and everything else. And then working in a cemetery, even in sales, is still kind of interesting, isn't it? That's a path that I never would have thought would have come up. So I'm glad they called me. And I'm glad it was such a pleasant interview. And that's maybe... I just hate to tell the other job, hey, something better came up. Sorry, guys. But it's their fault because I couldn't go to the onboarding process on the 11th of this month. And they pushed it back. Otherwise, they would have had me. Oh, and Tiffany, the only thing I really don't like is commission, only commission. That doesn't seem like something I would love. But, of course, people are going to die, which is unfortunate. Sounds like a very lucrative offer. Yeah, even working in sales would be an adventure for you. Sure, yeah. It would be. I should have wandered around the grounds today. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping they do call me, but they've got to interview other people. He said he likes me because I'm a real person. Hey, Lori, what's going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So good to see you again. I was telling everybody about my job interview today at a funeral home in Baton Rouge in a sales position. Doc B, what's going on? Good to see you. Lori says, oh, yeah, you need to wander the grounds there. Sure. Yeah, that would be a whole different reality for me. I mean... Yeah, I was telling him about my job interview today at a funeral home in a sales position. I'm already kind of going to Magnolia Mound as a tour guide there, and that's kind of what I've been doing for a while. But several months ago, I was just putting in Indeed resumes and see what happens. I was surprised they called me. I was surprised the interview went well, and if they want me to go, I have a big decision to make. Thanks, Doc B. I appreciate it. Lori, thank you so much. How is everyone else doing today? Got any good news to share? I always love good news. Oh, and then I went to go to Burger Smith after that. I had a delicious burger and garlic butter fries. Burger Smith in Baton Rouge, kind of close to my house. Yeah, commission could be great, but the amount you earn will change a lot. But as you said, people always die, which is a fact of life. Yeah, fact of life. And they do cremations over there. That's something I just never considered, really. And when I submitted that application, I was thinking, well, these people are never going to call me. Why would they want me over there? So yeah, it was a real legitimate interview. It was a whole different reality. I know how to dress for a tour guide interview. I mean, that's just kind of business casual, very business casual. But for this kind of job, I wasn't sure how I would have to work. Holy cow, no pun intended, but the burger and garlic fries sounds delicious. Oh yeah, it's a place called Burger Smith. The burgers are really good there, and they have different versions of fries. Different flavors. I forget what the other ones are because when I do go there, I like the garlic butterfly fries. It's so good. They're tasty. And I just chilled over there. And then they have a beer of the month and different things on tap. I didn't get a beer today, of course. I just chilled over there. But I was kind of tempted to try one of their beers, but I don't know why I didn't. Oh, and interesting. Where do you guys put your tomato on a burger when you're making a burger? Does the tomato go above the patty or under the patty? I always put my tomato on top of the patty. You got the lettuce, maybe cheese on the burger, then lettuce, then a tomato on top and onions or whatever else. These people put the tomato under the patty, and I thought that was kind of strange. I never had that done. Yeah, me, I like mine on top. I don't know why they did that. I posted a picture of it, and I was going to post it on X to ask people. Yeah, on top. I mean, why would they do that in an established restaurant? Put the tomato on the bottom. Laurie says, my grandfather actually lived in Chauvin Funeral Home when they moved here from Sicily, Italy. Wow, that's cool. Tiffany says, I always put it on top of the patty. Yeah, I thought it was unusual. I mean, it doesn't taste as good on the bottom. It was weird. I should write a letter to the corporate office and tell them I want answers to that. Why is this tomato on the bottom? Yeah, everything on top, then the patty. The patty goes on the bottom. It's the bottom layer. How could a tomato be a bottom layer? When she was pregnant for me, they lived in the basement. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I want to write a letter. I should go back up there. I'm going to write a Yelp review about it. Everything's perfect except they put the tomato on the bottom of the patty when the tomato should be on top. And that's why you get a 3 out of 5 review. But the burgers are really good. You can get it, however you want it. You have to choose every single thing you want on them. I don't like to have to make all the decisions like that. Fries are fantastic. Garlic butter fries, so good. My favorite. And then I went home. Yeah, I'll make sure to add that in my Yelp review. I don't think I reviewed that place before. I took some pictures that I'll post. I wish I could share pictures on here like Wild Bill was talking about yesterday. But we could not share pictures with you guys. We could only talk and tell stories, which is nice. It's okay. Oh no, I do not like sweet potato fries. I know they're healthy. I know they're good for you. Some people really like them. I think they have them there too. I do not love sweet potato fries. I don't know if you guys remember a diet. It was called Sugar Busters, and everybody loves those fries. Do you know they make those giant curl fries using a machine? Well, I thought they would have to use a machine to curl those fries. Nobody could do that by hand. I like sweet potato fries with sugar. They're really popular out there, Tiffany says, and she likes them. Yeah, I have not had them in a while, but if fries were on the menu and they also had sweet potato fries, I would choose regular old fries. I would not choose them. But if that's all they had, I would probably, be happy with it. Sure, give me a sweet potato fry. I'll take it. People are probably health conscious in Colorado, so they can do all those active sports, go skiing and snowboarding and such. I like sweet potato fries, cut thick or thin. Well, Bill likes them thick or thin. That's good to know. Yeah. Like I said, I haven't had them in a very long time. Maybe there's a place that does them better than the one I had them at. Lori says, so we're going to St. Francisville November 22nd to the 24th. Wow. Where are you guys staying, Lori? That's going to be a lot of fun. St. Francisville is one of my favorite places. When I first started my channel, that's where I made all my videos out there. It was almost a St. Francisville channel. Laurie is going to stay at Butter Greenwood. I think you told me about that place before. Tiffany, Laurie has her own Facebook page that focuses on plantations. It's called Glorious Plantations and Homes and such. And she shares a lot of plantation photos. Butler Greenwood, yeah. Well, that sounds nice, Laurie. Y'all sure do get around. Glorious Antebellum Mansions and Plantations is the name of her Facebook page. Yeah, it's really cool. If you like those homes, she is a brawl bunt potato. I don't even know what that is, Wild Bill. I've never heard those kind of potatoes. Yeah, I doubt I'll be able to make a lot of videos working at a funeral home, but I'd make it work. You love it over there, historian. Yeah, I don't know what those are, Wild Bill. You'd have to tell us about those. Yeah, you're hypnotized. I don't even know how to say that. Brabant potatoes. I like garlic mashed potatoes. It's a French cut style potato cut into cubes. Wow, that's interesting. I've never heard of that. Tiffany's German. She likes all potatoes. Yeah, I like to go to one of those fancy steak places where they give you the garlic mashed potatoes. You know, Homa's house makes the best garlic mashed potatoes. When I was there working Easter and all that stuff, and we got to eat that fancy lunch, the salmon was so good. The potatoes were so good. It made everything worthwhile as long as we got to go get it. If they were making them on Thanksgiving, I would go there for Thanksgiving. Yeah, those are new potatoes on me. I've never heard them. Ann Butler owns Greenwood. She's also a book writer and the last living heir of the Minor family of South Downs Plantation in Houma, Louisiana. Wow. Do you know, I was reading an article. I wish I had my iPad here. I'd read it to you. And it was telling you the drunkest town in each state. That's the town where people are the drunkest. And Houma/Thibodeau was the drunkest town in Louisiana. So is that true, Lori? Are people drunk over there in Houma? Because that's kind of where you live. I wish I could read it now. We could find the drunkest town in Colorado. I don't have my iPad out here. Maybe I'll go get it. Mainly on the party buses. You guys have party buses over there? I've been on one party bus. It was for my cousin's birthday, and we had a lot of fun in there. It was a real party. Where do the party buses go over there, Lori? Yeah, that would be a great topic for a live. I could read the drunkest town in every city. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. We could talk about the drunkest town in every state. The driver rides around when they get drunk. That's so silly. We have party buses too. Oh, I've been on one, Tiffany. It's so much fun. There was a little strobe light in there. We had the best time. It drove us to bar, and we went to eat at a restaurant. Brow bunt potatoes are directly out of France. You simply take a potato, cut it into cubes, and deep fry them in oil. That sounds easy enough. Zombie Baby only eats cat brains. Chuck is asking about Zombie Baby. He doesn't eat a lot of human food. I let him out at night and he prowls the neighborhood. Nobody knows where all their cats are missing, and I don't want to say anything. They even have pretty poles on them. Yeah. Mine had a pole. Oh, braids, look. He loves those braids. It makes him so happy. He wants to eat them. Chomp. They have yes, they do that. They do bar to bar. Yeah, that's what we did. We went to bar to bar. It was my cousin's birthday. And yeah, look, he's in a little better mood today. He's smiling. I see that little smile. He's happy. He's getting better now. Because Thanksgiving's coming. School hasn't been so bad lately. He's been doing okay. He's doing just fine. Yeah, I know. Look at his demeanor. His skin's looking better. He's happy. He's starting to glow a little bit again. That's a beautiful thing. So I like to see him in a better mood. Even though he didn't get those 2,000 subscribers he wanted for Halloween, he may get them for Christmas. Maybe we'll come on every day during December and we'll do Vlogmas and talk about Christmas things. You know, I bet Chuck is German too. Netzhammer, that sounds German. Zombie Baby is going to need a huge Christmas stocking for all those brains. Yeah. Hopefully he wraps them up. We got to wrap them up in some sort of cellophane paper. I may get a special. I may have to get a special Tupperware for them, so he could eat all those little brains. He needs a little stocking. I'll hang it by my mantle. And we will wait for Santa to come. It'll be so much fun. Have a crackling fire going. And we'll have to go to bed early. Because Santa only comes when zombie babies are asleep. He will not come if you're awake. Santa will deliver all them brains, but don't forget to we gotta leave him cookies and milk. When I was a kid, my father left Santa a cocktail, and I guess when I was younger, I thought that was normal. Didn't know any different. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we get a good winter down here where we could have fireplaces and such. Oh, well, I got to find a Christmas outfit. He looks so good in this green color. But we'll get him one. I got to. Get him his Christmas duds. That's exactly what we'll do. No, my father didn't drink martinis. He drank Crown Royal. I guess that's what we would leave for Santa. And I was a kid, so I thought that was normal. And we would leave carrots for the reindeer. We didn't leave cookies when I was a kid. Didn't leave cookies for Santa. Crown Royal and Cola. That's what we did when I was a kid. Yeah. Yeah. Did anyone else leave stuff for the reindeer? We left him carrots. That was just what we did. Crown and cranberry. I've never had that. One time I got some honey liqueur, Jack Daniels honey liqueur. That was delicious last year. last year for Christmas. For Christmas, it was so nice. Well, they're doing most of the work, they needed something. Everybody's got their own traditions. Um, Crazy, huh? For instance, when I was a child and we lost a tooth, my parents told us a rat was going to come get our tooth and leave us money. We never talked about a tooth fairy. I didn't know it to a tooth fairy till I was in school much later. And a couple of years ago, I thought that was weird, so I did some research on it, and it turns out it's a southern thing that they used to say a rat came to get your teeth and leave you money. Did any of you guys hear about that? My family may have been different. Yeah, it seems weird now that I'm an adult. Why did our parents do it that way? I don't know. I'll ask my sister about it. Yeah, those poor reindeer. They probably hated going to your house. They probably hated going to Tiffany's house. She's the one that's going to cheat us. I don't know why it looks like my teeth is missing here on this light, but it's fine. My ingredients were oatmeal, Christmas, and colored glitter raisins. For what? A Nutra rat. Yeah, I don't know what kind of rat I just always imagined a rat coming in our house. So weird. Tooth fairy for me. Totally. Yeah, we would still leave our teeth under the pillow, but my parents told me a rat was coming to to build his nest with teeth. Oh, so you left things for the reindeer too? Yeah, that's good. The tooth fairy left me a small diamond. First tooth I ever lost. Very chic. That's cool, Tiffany. I don't know anybody who got a diamond for their first tooth. That is so cool. Mine was a tooth fairy Laura Sal. We got silver dollars. Wow. How cool. That's an odd tradition, isn't it? Yeah, I'd go broke when she starts losing his teeth. That's right. I will when zombie baby. Me either. My mom always liked to do unique things like that. I want that light. It's to hypnotize people so they subscribe. For me, and that's 50 years ago, when our teeth came in. Yeah, that's true. We've had them for a while. I'm surprised it's not more traumatizing for kids when they lose their teeth. But I guess when you're a kid, it's just natural and you know about it. Did anybody ever try to tie a string around their tooth when it was loose and tie another string to the door and slam the door, theoretically expecting to pull the tooth out? I did do that when I was a kid. Santa carrots and ranch. Yes, my kids on their own. There you go. How many kids do you have, Tiffany? I have a traumatic tooth experience from first grade. I blindfolded myself, then climbed on the monkey bars and knocked my front tooth right out. Was it a baby tooth, Tiffany? I had a similar experience. Of course, kids today don't want $1. They want an iPhone or an iPad. Yeah, every time they lose a tooth, you got to go out. I bet it is true. I mean, what is a quarter to a kid now? Mine get so loose I could pull them. Oh, geez. I one time when I was a kid, I was young, and my sister had horses, and my grandfather's neighbor had a horse. So we were riding horses. My sister was on one horse, I was on one, and I was behind my cousin, a girl cousin, and we were driving around. We're country, they were country kids, and so we went under a clothesline, and my cousin said, "Duck, we're going under a clothesline." So I ducked. I didn't know there were two clotheslines, so I got up, and the clothesline caught me in the mouth, and it pulled my front two teeth out. And one of them was a baby tooth, and one of them was an adult tooth. So this is a fake tooth because of that traumatic accident. And I was fine after I got it. I didn't know it was fast. And my sister looked at me. She said, "You better go get mom." And I got off the horse and I went inside. I was still fine. And the yard, I rubbed my hand and it was covered with blood, and I screamed. And everybody came out of that house. And if they could have found that tooth, they could have put it back in, but they didn't. And so I have a fake tooth now. That's my tooth story. I wonder, I never got any money for it because it's never found. Yeah, it was traumatic when I was a kid. We had to look for it. The dentist said try to find that tooth, but of course you can't because it's outside, and it was the weekend, so we had to go to a dentist. And for a while, I had a bridge with a tooth in it because I was still growing. They couldn't put a fake tooth in. But that is my teethy story. My current dentist wants to get a more permanent style tooth, but I'm good. I'm good for now. I have to fix my top teeth. I had fake ones too, but they have to fix them because of. Oh, wow, you better stay out of that garlic bread. Yeah, mine is kind of permanent, though. Kind of semi-permanent. Yeah, well, that's probably the way to go. I see them advertised on television all the time. Stay away from the garlic bread. So, so when do you think you'll hear back from the cemetery, Darren? They said he'll know by Thursday. He's already interviewed a lot of people. He's got more interviews to go. He'll said he'll keep in touch and let me know either way. It went really well, but if that happens, if he says sure, we like you, I will have a big decision to make. And what to tell? What should I tell? Magnolia Mound. I mean, it's hard to pass up a job with benefits and everything else. When I go to the dentist, they're still amazed. I have all my teeth, 5 of them, which have been pulled. 2 upper wisdom. Well, most people don't lose their teeth anymore, not like they used to. You know, if you floss and everything else. I don't like the way this light makes it look like I'm missing a tooth, but I'm not. It's just a little crooked looking. I want to get a better light for this room. This bright light is just overwhelming. Around a couple months ago, I sent out about a bunch of resumes. This is a sales position. I will be selling funeral plots over there. It was a really nice interview. I love talking to that guy. I wasn't sure that would be somewhere I'd like to go, but it went so well. If they called me and considered me for it, wow, you know, it's a lot more money. I would get benefits over there. It's in Baton Rouge. It's on Florida Boulevard. It took me around 7 minutes to get there. You know, it's not something I ever thought about doing, but because right now I just want a job mostly to have something to do. I want an Instagrammable job that fits in with my reality, but benefits and health insurance, that's hard to pass up. You know. Yeah, I had to tell a job once I'd gotten. I'm very sorry. But radio job came up. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I would feel bad for them too. But like I said, I mean, I wanted to go to the onboarding on Tuesday, and I couldn't because of the background check waiting, and now that's in. So I'll know by Thursday. I kept my upper wisdom teeth till I was 50 before they finally cut them loose. Oh, it's a full-time job, Lori. Full-time, full-time. You know, do I really want a full-time job at this point in my life? I don't know. But health insurance would be nice. And the environment there seemed very nice. 8 to 5, more specifically, if that's what you're asking. The dress code is casual, business casual. Not all stuffy like wearing suits and all that other stuff. We'll see. I mean, who knows who's going to come in there? There may be some young go-getter that comes in. A go-getter. And he said, oh, we got to hire this kid. He's got moxie. Yeah, the sales job, you would put in long hours. Being that it is sales, and wow, the benefits sound great. Yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing. Everybody says that you need benefits. We'll see. It's good to have options. It was good to be called in for a job like that. A total career change, total new environment. I should have asked them if they have daycare because I have a zombie kid and I need somebody to watch him while I work. Yeah, he could visit me. I'll bring him over there. That's right up his alley. Will you be able to do your channel and not be overwhelmed? Oh, I doubt I'll make videos there. I mean, yeah, I'd bring him in there with the other kids. That'd be hilarious. It's like, wow, this man's crazy. Yeah, I'd still do my channel, of course. I'd make the channel work. I still have to edit that Destrehan video. I've just been so busy. I've had something to do every single day. And after editing the hotel video, oh, I'm just so tired of looking at all that stuff. The hotel video did pretty good, though. Can't complain about it. 5 hours of watch time out so far. So that's good. Yeah, I gotta let him go there. We can't go without your channel. You know this. Yeah, of course. It'll work. Don't worry. Channel's always going to be here. We'll still come on every single night. I thought about doing a 1-day live, but you know, just the way it works, I'm kind of bored anyway at night, and I like talking to everybody, so I come on. It's hard to find a topic. You know, that's the thing. Maybe tomorrow we will talk about the drunkest city in every state. That would be fascinating. I have to find that article. I do like wrestling, Lori. That was an interesting suggestion you made to talk about wrestling. I just don't know who else will, or I wouldn't know a specific wrestling related topic for us to discuss here. I don't know if that's a universally liked topic. Because when I start the live, I like to have a little topic because it takes around 5 minutes for people to come in. You know, it takes a little while. Yeah, Hulk Hogan. I didn't watch wrestling in the 80s. I started watching it in the 90s. Bret Hart, The Undertaker. Interesting, Lori. I didn't know you watched wrestling. It's good entertainment. I don't have streaming TV right now. I had Sling TV, but I never watched it. And so I canceled it. $40 a month seemed too much just to watch wrestling. I like China, but I wasn't really into. Yes, China was so cool. It's a shame what happened to her. I go all the way back to Mid-South. That was a long time ago. Yeah, China was the seventh wonder of the world, or the eighth wonder of the world. She dated Triple H. I mean, she dated Triple H, and then he left her for Stephanie, the boss's daughter. How sad. Yeah, it was heartbreaking. I feel so bad what happened to her and the way she was treated. And they won't put her in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, which she deserves to be in there. I remember she was wrestling the male wrestlers. She had a feud with Jeff Jarrett. She was part of DX for a while. But she was so heartbroken when Hunter left her for Stephanie, left wrestling for a while. I mean, imagine being that heartbroken. She should have bounced back, could have met somebody. Oh, yeah, I mean, I would watch wrestling. I just don't have Sling TV. And Raw, it was 3 hours long. I can't watch anything for 3 hours long. Forget about it. Then you have AEW. You've got NXT. So you got to watch wrestling every night of the week. Yeah, how sad. The boss's daughter of all people. Yeah, I just can't sit through it. I've got to walk up and do a round. That's why some people do these lives and they're on here 5 hours. Oh, I can't do that. Can't do that. Gee whiz. My family actually got together and we would cook and watch. Oh, yeah, for the pay-per-views in college, I would have people over at my parents' house. That was back when we had the satellite dish. And maybe we had a way to get all those events with a card. And so my friends, we would come over and watch them cook. My mother would make crawfish etouffee for us, me and our friend Bobby, at least. And we would eat crawfish etouffee. Oh, I have cane. I have a really cool cane doll. I'll bring him out here tomorrow. He's around this tall. And I have a Mankind doll. Action figure, Lori. Those are action figures. They're not dolls. Why would you call them dolls? Boys don't play with dolls. They play with action figures. And I have a couple of Bret Hart ones. They're still in the wrapping. I may try to sell those on eBay. I still have a lot of my Star Wars action figures as well. If I thought they were worth anything, I would sell them. Yeah, I hear you, Laurie. I hear you. Loud and clear. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have anything to do tomorrow. Just chill. Maybe I'll come on live at 3 o'clock. Wow, you got all those dolls? Those are real collector's items. Tiffany says she has a Cher doll, a Marie Osmond doll, and a Brooke Shields doll. Oh, out of the box. Yeah, yeah, they lose their value if they're out of the box. I mean, some people may want to collect them. Yeah, but if they're ratty, maybe not. But at least you got them. Good memories. You would think Brooke Shields would have had a better career than she did. As popular as she was back in the day, I think she just got burnt out of Hollywood because she was mishandled. Yeah, my Star Wars action figures, they're in good shape, but they're just not worth much. I went to a little comic book store and he said he'll buy each one for $10. And I said, I'll just keep them. Why not? Yeah, Brooke's mom put her in some questionable movies as a kid, Tiffany says, and that's true. She's kind of bitter about that. I have Marilyn Monroe in Castle Grayskull. Wow. I was too old for Castle Grayskull. My cousin had it. Elvis Presley doll. Wow. Used to have a huge collection of Mattel cars. I remember those. Yeah, Mattel cars. And a few planes to play with when I was a kid. Oh, yeah, when I was a kid, I had all those little Matchbox cars. And I even had a little briefcase to carry them in. And I had all those tracks, and you could make them roll around the track. That was so much fun back then. I used to have a huge collection of Mattel cars. Yeah, Castle Grayskull, that's around 10 years behind me when I would have had that. Yeah, those Mattel cars, they were so much fun. You put them on that little track and make little things so they can do the little loops. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, cool, cool, cool. My era when I was a kid was the Evil Knievel dolls. Little motorcycles, you wind them up, they'd go flying. I had a $6 million man action figure that I wish I still had because I know those are collectible. My favorite of all time was Stretch Armstrong and the Stretch Monster because you could stretch him out. I wish I had one right now. I'll be stretching him out. I bet that's a good stress reliever. Red has $5,000 in football cards with signatures. Well, good. Find a safe to put those in so they don't get damaged. One time, Jim Ross talking about wrestling. He was at a Barnes and Noble in Metairie, and I went to go meet him and get a book signed. And when I was there, somebody in the lot had this big giant folder, and they had all the wrestling trading cards, which I didn't know were a thing. And he had some of them signed, and he had this old wrestling card of Jim Ross and had him sign it. I bet that's worth some money now, but Jim Ross was amazed at that book. He just flipping through it. Oh, Silly Putty. Yeah, that was so much fun back then. Silly String. Yeah, you could squirt it. That was so much fun. I used to like when you put Silly Putty in the comics and it would get the comics and you would stretch it out. I still recall the smell of Silly Putty. I bet it doesn't smell like that anymore. Yeah, in the 90s, they re-released Stretch Armstrong. I had the re-released one, but it got hot and it exploded or something. That jelly got everywhere. Yeah, that was epic fun. Simpler times, simpler times. Play-Doh, that was so much fun. I would always mix my Play-Doh together and it would just turn gray. Not on purpose, just always happened. But Play-Doh was a lot of fun. That really smelled good too. That was stay put. Silly Putty came in an egg, which was weird. Why would it be in an egg? Oh yeah, I love the smell. I may get some today so I can smell it. Yeah, if you mix the colors of Play-Doh together, it turns gray. It's not a pretty color. It's not a rainbow. Oh, that's so much fun. We never had that. We did have the things where you could make the different shapes out of Play-Doh. What a fun toy that was. I wonder if they still make it. You don't see it advertised any much. Yeah, wow, Bill, that's true. We saw the telephone go from rotary to dial to a deck of cards now. My grandmother had the rotary phone. When I was a kid, they had the push button. I do remember the rotary phones. I kind of like those phones. I have an antique phone. I may put it out here so you guys can see it. Yeah, I loved it. Rolling that dial, and you could hear the noise when it went back, 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 back. What's in the consignment shop? A bunch of old things. They have old phones. Yeah, I have a really cool antique phone. The one with the you put it to your ear. I have it in my little TV room, I think, or in one of the shelves in my formal living room. I may put it out here because you guys would probably find it entertaining. I love looking at old things. The last time I was in St. Francisville, we went to an antique shop that had a bunch of cool old things. Well, maybe I'll go there to Natchez one day. I like Natchez, Mississippi. It's a beautiful town. I have one video from Natchez. It's of the graveyards. Yeah, the rotary dial, then the touch tone, then the wireless phones, then to now. Yeah, that's true. I remember when cordless phones first came out. My neighbor had one before that kid came over, and I thought it was so cool. I had a Garfield phone at one point where you put the receiver and his eyes would open up, and if you put it back, they closed. That was a lot of fun. I love staying in the Natchez Grand Hotel. We stayed in one of the old homes there. I can't remember what it was. The wireless phone always picked up my neighbor's conversations. Oh, I wasn't so lucky. I wish mine would have. That would have been so much fun. I would listen to all their business, see what they were talking about. Yeah, I wish I still had it. That would be a collector's item. Yeah, you open and close his eyes. Yeah, I kind of wish I could too. See what they're talking about. Listen to the kids. Well, they don't talk on the phone anymore anyway. They have their cellular phones. You can't listen to those. That would be illegal. Yeah, I don't know if we had those. I remember having the Burger King glass cups. Now their collectible cups are plastic. How can a collectible be plastic, McDonald's? That's so cheap. Nobody's going to collect that. Make a real um, collectible cup. Muppet Babies. Yeah, that's a little behind me. I did love the Muppet Babies, though. I mean, I'd watch it even though I was older. Gonzo was always my favorite. I loved Animal. No, I think I barely remember. Arno, Wild Bill says, remember being able to trade in a rotary phone for the cordless. I do not remember that at all. I think we just bought a cordless phone. Yeah, but I do remember that vaguely because I was a kid. I think you're a little older than me. I vaguely remember my parents having to go rent a phone instead of just going out and get one. You would rent your phone back then. Weird, weird, weird. So you never owned your phone back then. Yeah, times have changed. No more renting a phone. Yeah, because I vaguely remember going to a place downtown where we had to trade in a phone or something. But I was a kid, and I was just there. It didn't matter. It was a Waska white rotary phone, and the dial glowed green in the dark. I think I vaguely remember something like that. Bell South and turned into South Central Bell. That's new one on me renting a phone. Every phone I've ever owned or got was bought. It was mine forever. Yeah, I mean now we just go out and buy a phone. Do you guys have landline service, Wild Bill? If so, you're probably one of the last ones to have it. I haven't had a landline in years and years and years. The last landline I had was 2019. Yeah, I was one of the first people to get rid of my landline. Probably in 2003, I saw the light and I got rid of it. Tiffany says she doesn't have a landline but wants to get one. Laurie says my dad had it at the beginning of this year. Well, yeah, I mean, theoretically, a landline is good in case of emergencies. I miss holding a real phone. Yeah, that was fun. And then when you're mad at somebody, you could slam it down on them. Pow! Or if it was a spam call, you could just slam that phone down. Clink. And it made you feel like you were doing something. Yeah, when the towers are out. I've only been without cell service once. I think it was one of the hurricanes, and nobody could get in touch with each other. It was crazy. Yeah, you could slam it down on them, cha-ching, and it rattled. It rattled the bell because you would slam it down so hard. They gave you a lot of pleasure doing that. Yeah, I think it was Rita or Ida that I was actually without of service on cell phones, and none of my family members was able to get in touch. And then one of my cousins had this walkie-talkie app on the phone. That was just obnoxious because I didn't like to hear from those people. Yeah, yeah, you would hear it ding, ding, because you slammed it down with such force. I remember I had a blue one at one point with touch tones. In fact, give me a moment, guys. Give me one moment. Give me one moment to dig this thing out. Where is this? Check it out, guys. Here's an old, rusty relic from the past. It's an old phone from the old days. And I can call you guys. Hey, guys. What's up? How's it going? Oh, nothing. Just hanging out. Talking to some people on the internet. Yeah, you know how it is. Just a boring all night. What? I can't hear you. Yeah. Talk a little louder. I can't hear you. You don't say. You don't say. You don't say. Yeah, I thought I had this in the little closet. The little receiver's messed up, though. But yeah, this is an old little phone. Click, 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 click. And I don't even have a place to plug it in. Remember these little cards plugged into your wall somewhere? I'll find my other one and have that one out tomorrow. Yeah, what a cool old relic. Oh, phone, how cool. Got the little card, remember? Yeah, where are you? I'm inside your house. Get out of my house. Get out of my house. Good say. I need to dust this old phone off. Go outside and plug it in. There's nothing to plug it into. I wouldn't know where to plug it in. Probably should clean out my closet. Who knows what I'd find in there. Yeah, what would you plug it into? Ghoul, was that the name of the movie she's talking about? Wild Bill says, I don't know. No, in the past, outside on a pole. One of my mom's boyfriends had a brick cell phone back in the 80s. Yeah, I remember those. You know, my father was all into having phones in his car in the old days. You had a whole phone in your car, and I think it had a card just like this one does. You would have people could call you in your vehicle, but it was a big giant phone in your car. That was the height of luxury back then. It was the height of it. And then I was sort of an early adopter on cell phones, but I can't remember. Beepers, I never got into beepers. Like, I didn't see the point in it. People would text you a number and you had to call them back. That was more for businesses. I know a lot of business people had them. My sister's ex-husband and their little friends had beepers. They thought they were so cool. And it was like, you're all together. Who's going to text you? Who's going to beep you? Yeah, he had a phone call in his car, so I called him the Inspector Gadget. Yeah, that is kind of like Inspector Gadget back then. That movie was about someone calling a woman in her own house. Person was doing a wild brick covering his face. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Don't recall that movie per se, but it sounds like a good one. I'll check it out if it ever comes around. So yeah, I never got a beeper. I did have a little cell phone. It was bigger than the average cell phone back then, and that was a lot of fun. And then I switched to Nokia. I love my little Nokia phone. I still have it. Everybody had the Razor phones, and I did not like the Razor phone. I liked the candy bar phone. I didn't want to have to flip a phone open, even though those were so popular back then. I appreciated the Razor phone. I respected them because they were cool looking, but I liked the bar phones. And then Eddie Returns. I love those movies. I used to answer any payphones that I'd find ringing, converse with the weirdos. Wow, weird. Yeah, who would call a payphone? That's weird. Well, they probably really needed somebody to talk to. You know, if you're calling a payphone, you're probably pretty lonely. A bunch of drunks sounded like wild people called them. We would remember the payphone numbers and call them at certain times. Free that way. There you go. Payphones are definitely a thing of the past. We don't see them that much. It's pointless to have a payphone. It seems like in certain situations you may need one. But everybody has a phone in their pocket now. Oh yeah, we did that, Laura. Just jot down the payphone numbers. I don't know if I ever did that. Call a random payphone just to chat and mess with people. Don't think I did. Young days, yeah, because you had to find your own entertainment back then. You know, you just drive around. Tiffany said she got stuck on an elevator once and had to use the elevator phone. Yeah, that's crazy. I've never once gotten stuck in an elevator, except one time when I was a kid. We were at Disney World and the elevator stopped, and we were midway, so we had to crawl up through the top floor, because the elevator was between floors, and for whatever reason, we had to crawl. But I was in Paris sitting at the bar. It's a little restaurant. Little bar's nice. I'd go there and chill sometimes after work. And I met a guy whose job it was elevator repairman and inspector, and he has to go all over the world and inspect every elevator and repair them. And he was in town because one of the buildings downtown had elevator problems, and they had to call him to come fix it. So I thought, oh wow, what a job! You travel around and being an elevator repair person. Evidently, that's kind of a niche field to get into. Not anyone can inspect or repair an elevator. You have to have these people to come. And I'm sure everything has to be inspected once a year. Like even homeless house, I bet they have to have somebody come in and inspect that elevator. But I don't know. Hopefully they do. Over the years, elevator has eaten some people now. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to have a fear of elevators. And they say it was because I had a lot of eye operations when I was a kid. And I remember being in the hospital. I was 3. And a guy came around in a cart and he said, "Hey, you want to go ride around the hospital in this cart?" And I said, "Sure." But come to find out, he was taking me to surgery, and we had to go in the elevator. So I had a fear of elevators for a while. I was also scared of fans because there was one above the operating table, and I had a serious fan phobia, overhead fans. We have met Brad Pitt and Nicolas Cage just walking around New Orleans. That's cool. Brad Pitt, I don't know if he still lives in New Orleans, but for a while he did. I think he donated a lot of money after Katrina to help out New Orleans. Good for him. What a generous man he is. Do y'all all know that Interview with a Vampire was filmed here in Louisiana? That is true. Yeah, Nicolas Cage, he was in some interesting movies. Some pretty interesting movies. Lori said, I even slept in the same cottage that Brad Pitt slept in. Wow. How cool. He already brought the crypt. There you go. Wow, girl, lucky woman. I liked Meet Joe Black. That was probably my favorite Brad Pitt movie. Oh, An Interview with a Vampire was pretty good. I heard that Brad Pitt hated working on Interview with a Vampire, but he could not get out of his contract. For whatever reason, he couldn't get out of it. No, I'm pretty certain it was Brad Pitt. He hated working on that film. Yeah, I should watch it again. One of the streaming services has been trying to get me to watch Queen of the Damned. Oh, I met Tom Cruise. I guess you guys are probably interested in that. I used to work in the movie business. I did PA work and background work, and I was in Jack Reacher. People can spot me in there. I hear about it sometimes. And I was never a Tom Cruise fan. I just thought he came off arrogant and such. But if you meet this man in person, he has such charisma. I'd never seen anything like it. And he made people's day on that movie. He was polite to everybody. He went out of his way to talk to people. And he had this effect on people that was amazing. There were a couple of, I didn't work this day, but there were a couple of background actors, around 6 people. They were there 12 hours. They never were used for whatever reason, but they had to wait in this little room. And at the end of the day, Tom Cruise came in there to meet them. Hey, I'm sorry. We didn't use you, but I appreciate you coming out. And that made those people's day. He even patted me on the back, said, great job, or something like that. I was never a big fan, but that was the fact that he would go out and talk to people who had no benefit to him. It just said a lot about his character. I did one scene. It was an outdoor scene, and then there was a 7-day scene. Well, we had to work 7 days in New Orleans. It was for a parade scene. And I have a friend who's transgender, a female impersonator. This before it got really trendy and stuff. This was years and years ago. And he's a big guy. He likes to work out. You know he's not a lady. But Tom called him, very nice to meet you, nice lady. And that made that man's day that Tom Cruise addressed him as a lady. So it says a lot about his character. And I'll never forget how charismatic he was and what it was like to be in his presence. Yeah, he was stellar. I mean, it was the way he communicated with people and went out of his way to talk to people that were way below him was just amazing. So I was never a big fan until that. I loved Risky Business, though. But after that, I can see that he is a very amazing man. I don't know what his secret is. Could it be Scientology? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, he was stellar. Yeah, that was kind of an exciting movie back then because we were kids, and it was kind of a dirty movie, sexual scenes in there, and it was fun. And they had to. John Snyder lives here in my parish. He has a barroom meeting place on how. Yeah, he does. John Schneider is one of the Duke boys from, in case we don't recognize him. He also has a mud racetrack. He does a lot of work in the film industry as well. You know, I saw him on TV the other day. I forgot what he was talking about. Why was he on there? I don't know. But yeah, he does live in Louisiana. I met John Denver and have some pics with him. Yeah, he was a cool guy, wasn't he? Very charming. He always seemed pleasant. Rocky Road or whatever he sang about. Yeah, I mean, I met celebrities in my day. Back in the movie world. He was nice, but quite kind of shy. Nice enough to take photos with. Yeah, he looks like he would be kind of shy, doesn't he? I remember he had a couple of popular songs in the 70s. He was on The Muppet Show and sang with Kermit the Frog. And he starred with George Burns in the Oh God Book One movie. And he always had a little boy's haircut. You know who was totally mean and it broke my heart? Andrew Wrigley from Wham. Oh, is that his name? No, I was thinking of George Michaels. Well, that's terrible. He was rude to you. John Denver died in a plane crash. Yeah, I was thinking he did. How sad. Died in a plane crash on the coast of California. He was Facebook exchange. He was. I met a woman at his house this past weekend and a group of women. One lady was real nice. Made queen after 40 years old to watch a movie that was filmed at Rosedown when she was in it. Yeah, John Denver died 9 years after I met him, Tiffany says. Outside. That's a terrible tragedy. You know who was also nice? I used to do a lot of work on NCIS, New Orleans. The lead guy on there, Sam Beckett, is what he was in Quantum Leap. He was very nice. I forget his name, though. But I used to do a lot of background work on there, and he knew who I was. Not my name, but nice enough to say hello. How's it going? Yeah, that was filmed in New Orleans. I used to work there. It was the best gig, man. 2 or 3 days a week, I was in there in that little bar, chilling, or doing a street scene. And a lot of our friends were cops. They had the best gig. He was the nicest man. Take a picture with you if you wanted him to in the right time. Some of the clips of that was in Home Place Plantation. I know how he died in that plane crash also. Tiffany Davis. Wow, what a great gig, Darren. Yeah, that was good, steady work, too. The movie industry down here dwizzled down a lot since then. But when NCIS New Orleans was here, we were good to go. Everything was in this studio. And we'd go there. The bar, the first season, it was an actual place, and then they just made a duplicate in the studio. The restaurant that he owned, or the bar, whatever it was. All the interior sets were in a studio, and then you had to go outside when they shoot exterior sets. But we did a lot of street scenes over there. Good food. Too bad that had to end. I would still be doing it. But, everything ends. Nothing lasts forever. And then I haven't done any of that work until after, coronavirus shut everything down and never got back. Never really came back to the way it was. I had a friend who auditioned ABD, won a spot watching court cases when Judge Judy was on. Oh yeah, there's a couple of those here where you go spot them. Watch them make those kind of things. She was a gorgeous, funny stripper, and beautiful blonde. Yeah, we used to have work like that here too, back in the day, back when the movie business was going. Little things like that. You can go there. And if you do 2 or 3 of them a week, you were good to go. It was like a real job. There was a TV show, Claws, that was filmed here. We got a lot of work on that. I was on a movie set the day they shut it down. They told everybody, we're bringing you back. We're shutting her down. And the world was never the same since. Oh, I'm sure Judge Judy was nice. She seems like, she would treat you right unless you didn't act right. I remember Judge Wapner. He was the judge when we were kids. She brought everyone lunch. Wow. That was good to everyone. I'm sure she didn't buy that lunch personally. Probably the studio bought it. Other production people bought it. But yeah, they usually do serve you lunch if you're working on a set. Man, I was getting breakfast, lunch, and dinner sometimes on NCIS. If you get there early, you got breakfast. You got to serve your lunch. There's illegally, they have to feed you every 6 hours or something like that. I was picked to do the Victoria scene for Twilight, but my ex messed it up for me when I met them all. Yeah, Judge Wapner was cool, no nonsense. I wish I was doing background work or working when True Blood was being filmed, but I wasn't doing it back then. I would have done it if I would have known it existed, but I just didn't do it. Oh yeah, NCIS was fun to work on. We only got dinner because some of the days went on so long. Those are 12-hour days, and then sometimes you work overtime, and they have to feed you. It's a law. They just can't work you to death. And I would still be doing that. I just don't know if I want to drive an hour to work in New Orleans and the traffic and all that stuff again. And I look every now and every now and then I'll get a booking request to do something. But I was usually working. Now that I'm not, I don't get those requests because I'd probably just say, "Sure, sign me up. I'll do it." Doug, somebody's in his 80s now. Still looks exactly the same. That's pretty cool. I was reading, I saw something about actors who left the series as they were in and their careers were never the same. One of the ones that they talked about was that cute goth girl on NCIS, or one of them. She left that show and her career never bounced back after that. He's still on people. Oh yeah, Doug Ellerby or whatever his name. I know who you're talking about. The guy who was the host. Yeah, he was cool and he looks exactly the same. That's cool. He's still on people's court. Cool. That is so cool. Doug, I don't know how to say his last name. Llewellyn. Doug Llewellyn. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know who you were talking about at first, but I know who he is. Cool, cool, cool. Looks exactly the same. She ended up quitting because of it. Wait. Who ended up quitting? I never watched that show, but I thought she was cool from what I did see. Wait, we're talking about Wayne's World now? How did we get all the way to Wayne's World? I remember that. That was Paulie Puna ended up quitting. I never liked Wayne's World characters too much. I couldn't stand the way that blonde-haired guy looked. And I never liked, you know who I never liked was Adam Sandler. His voice always gets on my nerves. I loved Austin Powers though. That movie, he was so cool in that. The guy who played him, I know it's not the same guy, but Austin Powers was good. He was one of the Wayne's World people. I never did. Do you like Adam Sandler, Tiffany? It's mostly his voice. Yeah, Mike Myers. Yeah, he was so good in Austin Powers. But I did not love the Wayne's World people. Adam Sandler's voice just kind of grates on my nerves. It's got some high pitched quality to it. I don't know why he talks like that. Well, I won't talk about him then. I don't think he did anything that I liked. Not one movie. What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie, Tiffany? The Water Boy? Because I know people that act like that down here. The Water Boy, from what I saw, was an accurate description. Especially that Cajun man. Sometimes they'll talk to you like that. I can't even understand them. Oh, The Wedding Singer. That was a good movie, so I was wrong. The Wedding Singer. That was a good one. And the one he did with Drew Barrymore, where she lost her memory. That was pretty good too. So maybe I can't talk about him too much. He made a couple of good movies that I liked. Yeah, The Mask, but Adam Sandler wasn't in The Mask. That was Jim Carrey. Yeah, 51st Dates. How cool. 51st Dates. The poor girl lost her short-term memory. Another one I don't like is Will Ferrell. Even though I did work with him on Daddy's Home. And you know who else was really nice? Yeah, Drew Barrymore. I do like her. The guy who starred with Will Ferrell in Daddy's Home uh, went out of his way to take pictures with random people on the movie set. It was so nice. Yeah, Will Ferrell, he just ruined so many movies. Like the Bewitched movie. I was kind of looking forward to that because I love the Bewitched TV series. He ruined it. Land of the Lost. I love that show as a kid. With the Slee Stacks and all that. And he was in that movie and just kind of made it into a goofy comedy when the series was not a comedy series. So there was no need to turn a Land of the Lost into a comedy, but he did. Ruined it. So I don't like him because he ruined those movies. Yeah, I used to love that when I was a kid, watching The Land of the Lost. I remember that the Slee Stacks were so cool. And there was the nice one who talked so eloquently and profound. And then those kids. And I remember that little hairy Sasquatch looking show. I can't remember his name. Chaka, remember? Chaka. What a brilliant actor that kid was to portray that. I see Holly and that boy on the internet sometimes on Twitter. They go to Comic Cons and post videos. But Land of the Lost, that was so good. Did you are you talking about the 70s Land of the Lost or the 90s reboot? Because there was a reboot in the 90s that I did not know about. I used to watch the one in the 70s or early 80s. It was a good show. Yeah, the 70s version. All those dinosaurs, and there was a kind of a friendly dinosaur, and they lived in a cave. Yeah, Chaka was like a little Sasquatch looking thing, like a Neanderthal. And he was their friend. And all they wanted to do was get back home. Yeah, I never saw the '90s version. Wild Bill. Wild Bill says he's seen both. I'll have to see if I can locate it on one of my TV apps. Tiffany says she can locate it. Yeah, I don't know. I never see it on streaming. I would love to stream it from the beginning. That was some good Saturday TV. Yeah, some of the kids I used to work with told me about it because they remember that because that was popular when they were kids. The one in the '90s. I used to love those shows like Sigmund the Sea Monster, Voyagers. Yeah, that was good too. Yeah, those were all good shows. Yeah, Voyagers was so good. I used to like Buck Rogers. That was really good too with those robots. Right now, I'm binging on Nip Tuck. Yeah, I saw that. That was good. I binged that several years ago. It got hokey toward the end of the series, but the first couple of seasons were so good of Nip Tuck. Yeah, I used to love that robot dog. Bibbidi bibbidi bibbidi. What's up, Buck? And then he wore that round robot on his neck. That was such a good show. Yeah, the first couple of seasons are great of Nip Tuck, but I thought toward the end it got a little too campy or something. They tried a little too hard. Welcome back, Laurie. She had to make a peanut butter and jelly on wheat. Real Robinson and the Robinson family. Danger, well, danger. Yeah, that's good. Wild Bill, the Lost in Space. I remember that Will Robertson, that robot was so cool. I used to love that robot. I used to have a little a toy version of him, and he said certain things. Push little button, and he would talk. It was so cool. And yet can make his arms move. What's her name in Buck Rogers? Was it Drop Dead Fox? I don't remember the woman in Buck Rogers because I was a kid back then. All I remember are the robots. How cool! Aaron Gray. Yeah, I don't remember the woman in there. I remember the robots. Aaron Gray. If I had my iPad here, I could look it up, but I don't have it out here tonight. Just didn't think about it. Getting all this stuff set up for you guys. Denver, Colorado. That's her, Aaron. I've never heard you call a woman a drop dead fox, Wild Bill. She must be pretty hot. I gotta check this woman out. Aaron Gray. Drop dead fox. Gotta check her out. Bill, yeah, Erin Gray was on Silver Spoons too. She used to be a model, I think. I do remember Silver Spoons. Ricky Schroeder, who dropped off the map acting wise. Little blonde haired kid. I remember the little train he used to have that went through his house, and he could ride a train through his house. And that's all I remember about that particular show. No lasting memories of Silver Spoons. Although I think I did watch it. Different Strokes. That was good. We enjoyed that. Yeah, he had it made, right? They were rich. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Didn't want for anything. All the games in the world. Video games, a train. He was like Richie Rich. He didn't have a robot maid, though, like Richie Rich did. Yeah. Oh, that's so good, Lori. I wish I lived closer to you. Go get a nice lunch of gumbo. I probably need to go to the store and get a few things. And it is getting a little cooler down here. It almost felt like fall today. Almost. Wasn't burning hot. So that was a good thing. We only had gumbo prepared in Denver. I don't think Denver knows how to make gumbo. I would be surprised if they knew how to make good gumbo in Denver, Tiffany. I used to be friends with this little girl, or young woman, of course, in England, and she sent me a picture of the gumbo she made. It was mostly rice with a little bit of shrimp and sauce on top of it. And I told her that is not gumbo. Gumbo is liquidy. It's more soupish, more like a stew than things on rice, But she didn't know. She thought that was gumbo, and then maybe that's what they consider gumbo there. I haven't had gumbo in a long time. Maybe I'll go get some tomorrow. Yeah, I'm sure. Rhett's Laurie's husband, by the way, in case you guys didn't know. Yeah, I need to try it one day. One day. I'm sure it's good. I know it's good. I mean, you're a Southern woman. How could it not be good? The only time it's not as good in some restaurants. I'd love to try it, what Laurie says. Oh, I don't know about boiled eggs and gumbo. I think you lost me on that. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of boiled eggs. And I'm not a big fan of potato salad either. I know most people love it. Yeah, Tiffany, and they're both actually plantation people with plantation blood in their veins, I think, if I am correct. Rhett is a good Southern name, like Clark Gable is Rhett Butler on Going with the Wind. Well, I don't know. Maybe every gumbo does have boiled eggs in it. I don't know how they make it. It seems odd to me, but I guess I'd have to try it. Boiled eggs and gumbo. Weird, weird, weird. It doesn't taste like egg. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's, I've had it before and just don't know about it. But I didn't know that was a thing. It's not cut up in it. Yeah, so you just put a raw egg in there. Very interesting. I mean, you boil an egg in there. Yeah, I get it. You boil the egg in there. You put the egg in there while it's cooking, and the egg turns out boiled. So when the Tiffany wants to know when was the last time I worked on a movie or TV show. After the lockdown happened, everything shut down. I got sent home from the movie set. They let everybody go. It had to be a year after that. They finally came back, but under very strict restrictions. They would only have a few people on set, and you had to wear the mask for 12 hours, except when they yelled action. Then you took it off. So I finally tried to get back in the movies, and every day I worked, you had to have a thing up your nose. You had to be tested for the coronavirus every day on set, and I hated that. So it had to be a year, probably 2021 or 2022, early, and I worked on a prison movie, set in a little prison, and I just think I realized it wasn't for me. I didn't like working like that. You couldn't talk or socialize with anybody. So let's say it was 2022. Now all those restrictions are gone. You don't have to worry about it. I theoretically look every now and then about movies. I've gotten booking requests, but I may work on another movie soon. Yeah, it was terrible with all those restrictions. For whatever reason, I decided, well, I'm not doing this anymore. It's not worth it. And I don't like to wear that mask and have all that stuff. It, it's only a chicken gumbo, not in my shrimp gumbo. My bad. I should have said that. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, it's something I've never heard of, but good for you. I'm sure it's great. Boiled eggs. It was. Yeah, the only reason it's just I'm so over driving. I'm over. All right, Tiffany. We'll see you in a second. Tiffany said, "Be right back." I mean, I used to be in that loop more than I was. I'm not in demand anymore like I was. But it was great times, a great chapter in my life. My life is in chapters, and the film industry was a good one. It was a blast while it was good. And after that, I said, geez, I got to find something. The world was still in chaos. Everything had not been opened up yet. And Homeless House came along, and I happened to see they were looking for tour guides. And so I went there, and I don't know if you know Miss Sandy Laurie, but I went there and met her and got hired on the spot. And I thought that was great. In hindsight, I learned that if you go to a job and you go to a job interview and you get hired on the spot that day, that indicates that there's something wrong with that job. It indicates that, you know, something's wrong with management, something's wrong. And, at the time I just thought, well, I just blew these people away and got hired on the spot. But I think I did blow them away, though, and that's why I got the gig. Why wouldn't they have hired me? Told them, I did all the plantation videos and such. But, the movie business was great. The plantation chapter, that was great. What's the next chapter? Who knows what the future holds? I don't know. Don't know what the future holds. I'm hoping it holds me not commuting and me not driving all over creation. I would go back to Homeless House. That'd be a great gig. But aside from that, I'm not going to look for another plantation gig. Yeah, I miss seeing everybody too. I'll go there to visit one day. Lori says, "Hey, we really miss you there." Yeah, if you and Red ever go, call me and I'll go visit and hang out with you guys and in the Turtle Bar. And maybe, do they make you pay for a tour every time you go or no? Or do you get some sort of discount? So you don't pay for your tour? How does that work? You just go on the tours and they know you because you're you or what? I do miss the we're going to walk in together and say we're going into the bar. Oh, I got you. Oh no, I know they're gonna not charge you in because I didn't pay the last time I went either. I didn't know, but I didn't know about the tour because you guys always take the tour. I'm not interested in taking a tour. I mean, I'm telling you, I just can't do it. I've heard it all. I don't need to see the inside of a place. But I'll go visit, maybe talk to Susan. Oh, you know who was on one of my live streams the other day? Susan Brewer. She is one of the tour guides there. And she stopped by the live chat and said hello. So that was nice to see her today. Yeah, I talked to her for a little bit in here. I miss her the most because she and I used to laugh so much. So yeah, it was good talking to her. Welcome back, Tiffany. Tiffany's back. How cool. Yep, Susan Brewer, of all people, stopped by my live chat. She says she's been pretty busy. I don't know if she meant at work or meant in life. I saw her daughter on Facebook. Facebook wanted me to friend her daughter. You know how Facebook tells you people you may know, but I don't really know that daughter. Facebook thinks I might. Susan Brewer's daughter is a dog trainer as her job. So if I did get that dog we talked about, I could let her train it. But I'd train my own dog. I don't need somebody training my dog. I think I could manage. How hard could it be to train a dog? Sit. Sit, dog. Unless it's, to go to the restroom, to make it go to the door or something like that. Maybe I should become a dog trainer. How hard could it be? Sit up. That's a good boy. Roll over. It'd be fun to go there. Then Mr. Kevin will see. See what? He's not seeing anything. Tiffany says her ex is a famous dog trainer. Wow, that's so cool. Well, even if you told me his name, I wouldn't know because I didn't know that famous dog trainers were a thing. I didn't know that was something. So good. I mean, good though. I remember years and years ago there was this woman dog trainer and she was famous. But I don't know I don't know. I didn't know there were famous dog trainers. You should have gotten a dog while you were dating and have him train it. Then you'd have a trained dog. I'll tell you his name because he was very abusive to me and has a police report. Oh, yeah, you don't have to say his name, but I wouldn't know it if you did. Well, I'm sorry you were involved in an abusive relationship. I'm glad you got out of it. Surprising a dog lover would be abusive. They're supposed to be good people. They say if you meet a man, I don't know if they say this about women. If you meet a man, look how he treats a dog. And if he treats dogs well, he'll treat you well. But now we know that's not true. Oh, wow. He only trains deaf cattle dogs. That's fascinating. I can see why he's famous because that's a very unique field. I'm friends with them. Yeah, it's good. I'm glad you guys remain friends. It's a great idea. Then he can see how we made it. He adores dogs, but not women so much. Yeah, and that goes against that old adage that you can see how a man treats his dog, and that's how he'll treat a woman. So that's not true. Yeah, if you ever saw my video about my barking dog neighbor, that dog next to me was deaf. And man, did it bark. I didn't know there was a market for training deaf cattle dogs so good. And we dated before he became famous. Yeah, well, that's good. And now he's famous. Famous for training dogs. Good for him. Hopefully he's over his anger issues and his abusement issues somehow, some way. That way, the next one is fine. If I ever have a deaf cattle dog, I'll know who to look up. Need this thing trained to herd these cattle. I don't have anything to do tomorrow that I know of. I got waiting for a call about something I'm working on, but no definite plans to do anything. Maybe I'll go eat gumbo somewhere. I live by this restaurant called Paul's. They make good gumbo. Maybe Magnolia Mound will call me and tell me to go in for my own boarding. And then maybe I'll come online tomorrow night and we could have another topic. I don't know what. I'm sure you guys have something to do, but I'll probably be here. See what happens. It's Friday, Friday, Friday. I know, Lori made me hungry for it. That's what I'm thinking about now. I wish I had some. Wish I had some now. I haven't had it in forever. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to. If they're good, they're good. Oh, you go to bingo on Friday. I may come on early. I've been always trying to come on early. See what goes on here at 3 in the afternoon. See if anybody's on. So if I think of a topic, I'll come on tomorrow. It's not going to be wrestling. I know that. They give away money, turkey, and pies and gift baskets. Just for bingo. That sounds fun. I wish I had a bingo here to go to. That seems like an easy way to win something. Yeah, that would be a blessing of a day to win a pie or $50. That sounds fun, Tiffany. How cool are you into bingo? What kind of pies do they have? Apple pie, chocolate surprise pie. I would love to win a pie at a bingo. What an easy way to win a pie. Pumpkin and pecan pie. I would love a pecan pie. Maybe I'll eat that around Thanksgiving. That's when people eat pecan pie. Gonna be delicious. So good. Pecan pie. Yeah, I'm sure you do, Laura. You're a Southern woman. I know that you probably do make pecan pie. It's probably delicious. I bet you're gonna make one for the Thanksgiving coming up. I bet I can guess turkey. You're probably cooking turkey. You're gonna have some green bean casserole. Lori's asking me if she wants to know what she's cooking for Thanksgiving. I bet you're gonna have some candy jams and cranberry sauce and some other casserole type thing. Am I close? Yeah, of course. They always have the green bean casserole. Green bean casserole. I usually go to my aunt's, who's my mother's sister and her husband. But this year I'm going to go to another aunt who is my father's sister. My parents have both passed away. But the other aunt has been under the weather, and her daughter and her grandson are out of town. So my sister and I kind of feel like we should go to her house and spend time with her. So that's what we're going to do. I don't like eating their food. I mean, not, I don't know why. I don't know them that well, but I'm sure it's going to be good. My other aunt, her husband cooks so good. That food's delicious, but I'm not going there. Oh, thank you, Laurie. Yeah, that was probably early 2000s. They both passed away around a few years of each other. My father first, and my mother. So yeah, that's why the holidays really weren't that. When my parents were around, of course, they were a lot of fun. My sister has her life, her own daughter who they do their own thing. Oh yeah, deviled eggs. I forgot about that. Swedish meatballs, love those. Turkey ham, pineapple upside down cake. I could pass on that. Coconut cake, hate coconut. I'll pass on that. Candy jams, I don't like those. Roast sweet peas, cranberry sauce. Now wait a second. Are sweet peas and cranberry sauce one dish? If so, gross. But if it's two things, I like it. And then pecan pie, I would love. Yeah, we're gonna go to my aunt. She was involved in a plane accident, uh, and she had to have back surgery and everything. I don't know if you heard. Several months ago, there was a plane in the sky. It hit turbulence, pow, and went up and down, and people got injured. It was in Texas. She was one of those people, and she's been recovering, and her kids are out of town, so we're going there. Swedish meatballs, pineapple upside down cake, yummy. Candy jams, yummy. Yeah, yeah, I know. And it just she's been upset because her daughter moved to New York several months ago. Her grandson's in Prague doing his world traveling because he's a young man, and so we're gonna go to her house. Yeah, thanks. She's got to wear a little brace. She had to have two surgeries. She's getting by. You saw her. I posted a picture of that little family outing. That's kind of why I was there that day too, because that was her birthday, so we went there to spend time with her. Yeah, that Tiffany, that's the aunt that you saw on the picture from my family picture that I posted. Well, I've got to be leaving. Yeah, yeah, Tiffany, great seeing you. We're about to wrap it up anyway. I usually try to stay on 2 hours at most, but we're a little longer. So yeah, we'll see you next time, Tiffany. I hope you can make it to the next one. Well, I'll touch base. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Wow, Bill, you're the greatest. Lori, I bet I'll see you soon, somehow, some way. Thanks, Tiffany, for coming as well. We have a great topic I may come back on tomorrow. Same place, same channel, different topic. We might have some good news for everybody. Maybe somebody's got good news. Maybe we'll talk about the drunkest town in every state. Out of curiosity. Never know what time. Bye, Lori. He's gonna tell you bye. He's been in such a good mood. Look at that smile. He's so happy. I love it. His demeanor is so much better. He's finally in a good mood. Looks cheery and happy. So that makes us happy when he is. All right, Laurie, good luck. Hope everything goes well with your family. I know you're dealing with a lot as well. So that's terrible. You're probably dealing with a lot. So I appreciate you coming by and hanging out with us and taking a little break. Thanks, Tiffany. Bye, Lori. I'll see you guys later. Signing off tonight. Thank you all.